Okay, so you want to make a game. Great! But there are some things that you need to know when making a game. Some things that make your code nicer and easier to expand. And today I'm going to give you some tips that will help you. So, start off by always making a game loop sprite. And just have it empty and write all your code to execute everything in here. For example, you can do this. When green flag clicked, and have a block that's called setup, which is not run without screen refresh, not. And then here you just have a bunch of broadcasts that you can call setup hyphen and then the thing you want to set up. And then you can just call this to all your sprites, and this will make it a lot easier to debug. If your game loads really slowly, you can just remove these one by one until you find the one that makes the long loading. Next up, have a game loop. So broadcast a message called like game loop hyphen start. And when I receive game loop hyphen start, we forever broadcast, for example, tick hyphen thing, and a lot of things. Like, this is everything in your game. So if we stop this game loop, the whole game will stop. We can make another called game loop hyphen stop. And when you receive that, you just stop other scripts in sprites. And this is how this sprite will look. You can add more setups, you can add more tick stuff, you can add some things that called paint thing, and yeah, you can just find paint thing, and yeah, this is how it should look if you have like a pen-based game. And if you have some controls for the game, I recommend creating another sprite called controls. And in here, we're gonna have all the controls. So when I receive tick controls, we make a variable called up, down. We can also add some variables called axis X and axis Y. We can also add space and all of that. So now we just set up to the round of key up arrow, for example. So when we do a round, it always makes it to an integer instead of a boolean. So if I hold up and click this, it's a 1. If I don't, it's a 0. We can also add a OR in here, and we can choose W. So we can use both keys, and you can add a joystick thing or whatever, and add all of these here. We make down and S. And for the axis X and axis Y, we can just take minus, right and left, and up and down. And this just makes it a lot easier for like controlling a character, because you can just change X by axis X instead of change X by right minus left. You can just take controls in the game loop, and this is how it will look when you use the controls. So we choose the sprite controls, and we choose, for example, axis X. So if we start this game, we press that, it's that, if we press that, it's that. Really easy. And of course I switch these two, so it's wrong, but now it works. Another thing to think about is that instead of having a lot of if-else, this is, you know what I mean, really, really bad. You can just have one if statement and a knot in, then after that we can add another knot, and like this. It's much cleaner. For example, if knot, mouse down, and then we stop this script. So everything after this will only happen if the mouse is down. And everything we do in here is when the mouse is not down, and everything above is both. Another thing is to comment your code. Just right click it and click on add comment, and you can just type whatever in here and resize it if you want, and it will, you can also shrink it if you want, and most likely works with cleanup plus. So yeah, if you're using Turbo Warp and you don't like those kind of comments, you can always go in here and go to Turbo Warp and Turbo Warp extension gallery, and you just go to comment blocks. You can copy that URL, go back, click on custom extension, paste it, load, and now we have some comment blocks if you want to use these also. But this is only in Turbo Warp. I recommend using it though, if you want to upload to other platforms. And that's everything for this video. So let's go through it again. Use setup, use game loops, use comments. You can also use these comments, and also use this instead of infinite else statements. You know what I mean. And use controls. That's everything I want to show you today, and yeah, bye.